Welcome back to the channel, where coins come to life, not just as currency, but as miniature time capsules with stories worth telling. Today, we're going deep into one of those tiny treasures that might just be hiding in your change jar, your coin collection, or maybe forgotten in a drawer. The 2002 Indiana State Quarter, bearing the year 1816 and the Denver Mint Mark D, is not only a beautiful piece of American coinage, it's a collector's gem, with some specific versions of it valued at a surprising $125. But how does a quarter, a mere 25 cents, end up being worth more than 5 rolls of the same? Well, that's what we're about to uncover. So sit back, relax, and travel with me through time and detail, because this isn't just a coin, it's a chapter in the story of American states, a tribute to innovation, and a remarkable example of how everyday objects can become valuable treasures. Fast forward to 1999. The U.S. Mint launched what would become one of its most successful and widely appreciated programs, the 50 State Quarters program. The idea was simple, but brilliant: honor each of the 50 states with a unique quarter design issued in the order that the states joined the Union. It was more than a celebration of geography, it was a celebration of identity, history, and pride. And collectors? Oh, they were all in. Suddenly, every coin mattered. Every pocketful of change was a potential discovery. By 2002, we were well into the program, and it was Indiana's turn. Now, when it comes to design, some state quarters went for symbolism, some leaned on history, and some, like Indiana's, paid homage to speed, ingenuity, and innovation. The reverse side of the Indiana quarter features a race car, an Indy-style open-wheel racer, to be exact, superimposed over an outline of the state. Just beneath it, a small star marks the location of Indianapolis. The design is sleek, clean, and dynamic, perfectly capturing the spirit of the Hoosier state, and if you look closely, you'll see the inscription, Crossroads of America. That's not just a catchy phrase. Indiana has long been a major hub of transportation. In fact, it has more interstate highway miles per square mile than any other state. Trucks, trains, and race cars alike have found their home here, and this coin honors that rich legacy. It's not often that a coin moves, it's still metal, after all, but this design makes it feel like it could race right out of your palm. But now let's flip the coin, both literally and figuratively. Because while the reverse design gets a lot of love, the obverse tells an equally important part of the story. Here, we see the familiar portrait of President George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan for the 1932 quarter. But there's a twist to this particular 2002 Indiana quarter, the mint mark. You see, not all coins are created equal, even if they look the same at first glance. Collectors know to look for the differences: the quality of the strike, any errors or anomalies during production, the condition of the coin, and whether it's been circulated. Some 2002 Indiana quarters minted in Denver have certain characteristics, maybe a sharper strike, a particular die variety, or even an error like an off-center image, that make them particularly desirable to collectors. These little quirks in the minting process often go unnoticed by the general public. But for numismatists, those in the know, they're what make collecting so exciting. It's like a treasure hunt where the treasure is hiding in plain sight. In fact, some high-grade specimens have been certified and slabbed by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, and have sold for more than $100 at auctions or through private collectors. And here's the kicker: one such 2002 Indiana State Quarter, minted in Denver and in top-tier condition, has been recently valued at $125. Imagine that, 25 cents turned into over $100, just because it was preserved well and stood out from the rest. It's not magic. It's care, rarity, and timing. Coins, like anything else, are subject to the laws of supply and demand. And when a collector is trying to complete a full set of all 50 states in top condition, a standout example of the Indiana quarter can be the missing piece they're willing to pay top dollar for. But the value isn't just in the money. It's in the story. Every coin tells one, but this one, this little silver-toned sliver of American pride, tells many. It tells the story of a state that joined the Union over 2 centuries ago. It tells the story of speed and tradition, from the brickyard at the Indy 500 to the highways that crisscross the Midwest. It tells the story of a national coin program that captured the imagination of a country and inspired a new generation of collectors. And it tells your story, if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare versions in your possession. So the next time you're digging through change, whether at the grocery store, the laundromat, or your own piggy bank, take a moment to look a little closer. That 2002 Indiana quarter with the race car might just be worth more than you think, especially if there's a small D under Washington's ponytail and the coin still gleams like it did the day it left the mint. Keep in mind, not every 2002 D Indiana quarter is worth $125. Most are worth face value. But the hunt, the possibility, is what makes coin collecting such a captivating hobby. It's about discovering value where others see none. About preserving a piece of history. And, sometimes, about striking it rich with a simple pocket find. Have you ever come across a simple-looking coin, perhaps in your change from a grocery store or tucked away in an old jar, and wondered if it might be worth more than just 25 cents? Well, what if I told you that one such coin, specifically the 2006 North Dakota State $quarter with a Roosevelt Mint Mark P, could be worth a surprising $135 today? Yes, you heard that right. A single quarter, minted less than 2 decades ago, now fetching well over $100. But how did this come to be? What makes this particular coin so special? And is there a chance that you might have one sitting unnoticed in your home? In this video, we'll dive deep into the story behind this fascinating piece of American numismatic history, explore the factors that make it rare and valuable, and help you understand exactly what to look for. Let's begin by traveling back in time, not too far, just to the early 2000s. It was a time when the U.S. Mint had embarked on one of the most ambitious and beloved coin programs in its history, the 50 State Quarters program. Authorized by Congress in 1997, this program was designed to celebrate the unique heritage of each of the 50 U.S. states by issuing a series of special commemorative quarters, each representing a different state and released in the order they ratified the Constitution or were admitted into the Union. Now, North Dakota might not be the first state that springs to mind when you think of iconic American imagery. But its coin would go on to become one of the standout issues from the entire series. The North Dakota State Quarter was released on August 28, 2006, and it was the 39th coin in the 50 State Quarter series. It pays tribute to a state known for its rolling prairies, vast skies, and rich indigenous and pioneer history. Now, let's take a look at the obverse, or front, of the coin. Like all state quarters, the obverse features the familiar image of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan. This version was slightly modified to accommodate the dual date of the State Quarter series, 2006, to mark the year of issue, and 1889, to represent the year North Dakota was admitted to the Union. But the star of our show is not just any 2006 North Dakota quarter. We're talking specifically about the coin with the Roosevelt Mint Mark P, indicating that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. So why is this important? Why does a mint mark matter? In the case of the 2006 North Dakota P quarter, some coins exhibit unique qualities, especially in terms of striking clarity, planchet flaws, and even doubling on parts of the coin. While most of the 2006 P North Dakota quarters were produced in huge quantities and circulated widely, a relatively small number escaped the mint with unusual characteristics. It's these specific coins that are now commanding high prices. So, what should you look for if you're hoping to identify a rare North Dakota quarter in your own collection? Let's talk details. Second, look closely at the finer design elements. Some valuable 2006 P North Dakota quarters show signs of die doubling, particularly in the lettering or in the finer lines around the bison. Die doubling, or double die errors, occur during the coin-making process when the die that stamps the design onto the coin strikes it more than once, but in slightly misaligned positions. These errors are rare and often missed by casual observers, but they can dramatically increase a coin's value. The 2006 North Dakota quarter also stands out because of its low population in high-grade certified condition. While millions were struck, only a limited number have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated form. One such certified example in high grade, MS-67 or MS-68, recently sold for a whopping $135. That's right. A quarter that could have easily ended up in a vending machine or parking meter is now worth over 500 times its face value. And while that may not make you rich, it certainly makes coin collecting a whole lot more exciting. So how does a 25-cent coin reach a value like that? It's a combination of factors: rarity, condition, collector demand, and sometimes a bit of luck. It's important to understand that not every 2006 North Dakota quarter is worth $135. In fact, the vast majority are not. But for those few in near-perfect condition with the right mix of features, the value can skyrocket, and that's what makes modern coin collecting so fascinating. It combines history, art, economics, and a little bit of detective work. Each coin tells a story, not just about the place it represents, but about the time in which it was made and the people who handled it. The North Dakota State Quarter is no exception. It reminds us of the vast open plains, the legacy of Theodore Roosevelt, and the quiet dignity of the American bison. So next time you're going through your change, take a closer look. That shiny quarter with the bison on it? It might just be worth more than you think, and if you're lucky enough to find a 2006 North Dakota quarter with a Roosevelt Mint P mark, in high-grade uncirculated condition, maybe even with a doubling error or pristine luster, congratulations. You could be holding a tiny piece of American history worth $135. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting.